So at the moment we've made our program work. It's doing this in the background, so it's running its own thread. It's not going to do a great deal. There's no programming code in there. All it does is just return a string, and when this is finished, when it's finished doing its work in the background, it sends its information to post execute in result, and that result is shown on the screen, and we've seen that work. Now, okay, we need to do a little bit more work now, so we need to talk to the database. We need to talk to the PHP files that are going to talk to the database and return information back to our program. And all of that work, all of that talking is going on inside here. Okay, that's the only place. If we look at the rest of the program, it's finished. We don't really need to add any more programming statements outside of that blue area. We're just going to program inside there. So this is our sort of sub-program. It's running in the background, it's running on a thread, it's doing all of our work, it's asynchronous, so it just carries on until it has finished, and then it just nudges the main program, says, hey, I've got some results for you, can you display them? So that's what we're going to do. But before we go there, I'm going to show you how this information is passed into our program, because obviously we're going to need this URL so that we can talk to our database. And at the moment what we've got is saying set up a new task and run it using this value, and that is passed. Here's my task. That is passed in this string here, which is a data type. It's got the capital S indicating that it's a data type. Now, there's a lot of, you need to read the documentation, the reference, to understand what's going on here, but I'm going to give you a brief explanation of where things are getting passed. This information is passed into this information. There are 3 dots behind it. Basically, that means there's more than one item that can be passed. And that is the data type, and this is the actual variable. It's array which contains the details. Now, if it's an array, then it's got indexing 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on, and we can use that to pull this information from it, and I'm going to show you that now. So I'm going to replace this is some JSON text with my variable strings. I told you it was an array, so I'm going to open the rectangular brackets, the square brackets, and put in the first element in the array. And we could pass more information on here. We would get different values here. So I am now saying return the first element of whatever's passed into here, which is passed through that, which is sent from here. And to see that work, if I run my program, this time when we pass the information string 0 back out of the doing background to our post execute, it's going to print it on the screen from there. So let's just run that, see this in action. Hopefully, have we got the emulator up? There we go. So if I press my button, there we go, we get the web address this time. So it's picking up that information in here and passing it back out to be printed on the screen. Right, in the next video I'm going to start setting up the method of talking to the database. It's a little bit different from what we've done before with Python. It's a little bit more complicated, complex, for good reason, but still it's just a simple set of methods that you will repeat over and over again when you write these programs. So it's mainly copying what's happening rather than thinking for yourself. So let's stop the program.